Yes, it is permissible to supply power to a lighting contactor and subsequently route the circuit through the circuit breaker panel from which it originates, ultimately leading to the load. This arrangement is frequently employed in lighting control systems. Consider a scenario where the power source feeds into the lighting contactor. From the lighting contactor, the circuit proceeds to the circuit breaker panel, then to the load panel, and finally to the lighting fixtures themselves. In this setup, the lighting contactor's primary function is to govern the power supply to the lighting fixtures. Typically, a lighting control system, such as a time clock or an occupancy sensor, manages the contactor's operation. When the contactor receives power, it completes the circuit, enabling electricity to flow to the lighting fixtures. Conversely, when the contactor is energized, it breaks the circuit, effectively cutting off the power to the lights. The circuit breaker panel serves as a crucial safeguard, protecting the circuit against excessive current flow. It houses circuit breakers that are designed to trip or disconnect the circuit if the current surpasses a safe threshold. This mechanism is instrumental in preventing electrical fires and mitigating other potential hazards. The load panel assumes the role of distributing power to the individual lighting fixtures. Within the load panel are circuit breakers dedicated to protecting each lighting circuit. It is imperative to ensure that the lighting contactor's rating is appropriate for the load it manages. Moreover, the contactor must be installed following the manufacturer's guidelines and instructions meticulously. Let's delve deeper into each component and their functions. Firstly, the power source is the origin of the electrical energy that drives the entire lighting system. This could be a utility grid connection or a generator, providing the necessary voltage and current to operate the lighting fixtures. Secondly, the lighting contactor is an electrically controlled switch. It is designed to handle high voltage and current loads associated with lighting systems. It opens and closes the circuit to control the flow of electricity to the lights. The contactor is activated by a control signal, typically from a time clock, occupancy sensor, or a lighting control system. Thirdly, the circuit breaker panel, also known as a distribution panel, is the central point for distributing electricity throughout a building or a specific area. It houses multiple circuit breakers, each protecting a separate circuit. The main breaker controls the power to the entire panel, while individual breakers protect branch circuits. Fourthly, the load panel is a sub-panel that further distributes power to specific loads, in this case, the lighting fixtures. It contains circuit breakers for each lighting circuit, providing individual protection and control. Fifthly, the lighting fixtures are the endpoints of the electrical system, providing illumination to the space. These could be incandescent bulbs, fluorescent lamps, light-emitting diode or LED fixtures, or any other type of lighting device. Now let's explore the specific considerations for wiring the lighting contactor through the circuit breaker panel. Firstly, proper sizing of conductors. The wires connecting the power source, contactor, circuit breaker panel, load panel, and lighting fixtures must be properly sized to handle the expected current. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for conductor sizing based on the ampacity, the current carrying capacity, of the wire. Secondly, overcurrent protection. Each circuit must be protected by a circuit breaker or fuse of the appropriate size. The overcurrent protection device should be sized to protect the conductors and the lighting fixtures. Thirdly, grounding. The grounding system is essential for electrical safety. It provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing electrical shock. All metallic components of the electrical system, including the contactor, circuit breaker panel, load panel, and lighting fixtures, must be properly grounded. Fourthly, control wiring. The control wiring for the lighting contactor must be separate from the power wiring. This helps to prevent interference and ensures reliable operation of the contactor. The control wiring should be low voltage, typically 24 volts alternating current or 24 volts direct current, and should be run in a separate conduit or racewire. Fifthly, compliance with codes and standards. All electrical work must comply with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and any applicable local codes and standards. A licensed electrician should perform the installation to ensure that the work is done safely and correctly. Consider the following additional points. Firstly, the location of the contactor. The contactor should be located in a readily accessible location for maintenance and repair. It should also be protected from the elements and physical damage. Secondly, the type of contactor. The contactor should be rated for the voltage and current of the lighting circuit. It should also be suitable for the type of lighting load, such as incandescent, fluorescent, or light-emitting diode or LED. Thirdly, the control system. The control system should be reliable and easy to use. It should also provide the desired level of control over the lighting system, such as dimming, scheduling, or occupancy sensing. Fourthly, energy efficiency. Consider using energy-efficient lighting fixtures and control systems to reduce energy consumption and lower utility bills. Light-emitting diode or LED lighting is a popular choice due to its high efficiency and long lifespan. Occupancy sensors can also be used to turn off lights in unoccupied spaces, further reducing energy waste. Fifthly, maintenance. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the long-term reliability and safety of the lighting system. This includes inspecting the contactor, circuit breakers, wiring, and lighting fixtures. Replace any damaged or worn components promptly. To further expand on the functionality of the circuit breaker panel, firstly, the main breaker is the primary disconnect for the entire panel. It allows you to shut off all power to the panel for maintenance or in case of an emergency. Secondly, branch circuit breakers protect individual circuits within the building. Each breaker is rated for a specific amperage, and it will trip if the current exceeds that rating. This prevents overheating and potential fires. Thirdly, the panel schedule is a directory that identifies each circuit breaker and the loads it serves. This is helpful for troubleshooting and identifying which breaker to turn off when working on a specific circuit. Fourthly, the grounding bus bar is a metal bar that provides a common ground point for all circuits in the panel. This ensures that all metallic components are properly grounded, reducing the risk of electrical shock. Fifthly, the neutral bus bar is a metal bar that provides a common neutral point for all circuits in the panel. The neutral wire carries the return current from the load back to the source. Let's explore some common applications of lighting contactors in conjunction with circuit breaker panels. Firstly, commercial buildings. In commercial buildings, lighting contactors are often used to control large areas of lighting such as office spaces, retail stores, and warehouses. The contactors are typically controlled by a building automation system which can schedule lighting based on occupancy, time of day, or other factors. Secondly, industrial facilities. In industrial facilities, lighting contactors are used to control lighting in manufacturing areas, storage areas, and outdoor areas. The contactors may be controlled manually or automatically by a process control system. Thirdly, schools and universities. In schools and universities, lighting contactors are used to control lighting in classrooms, hallways, and auditoriums. The contactors may be controlled by a time clock, occupancy sensor, or a lighting control system. Fourthly, parking lots and street lighting. Lighting contactors are used to control parking lot and street lighting. The contactors are typically controlled by a photocell which turns the lights on at dusk and off at dawn. Fifthly, sports fields and stadiums. Lighting contactors are used to control the lighting on sports fields and in stadiums. The contactors are typically controlled by a timer or a lighting control system. It's crucial to remember the importance of electrical safety when working with lighting contactors and circuit breaker panels. Firstly, always disconnect power before working on any electrical equipment. Turn off the circuit breaker that supplies power to the circuit you will be working on. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off. Secondly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as safety glasses and insulated gloves. Thirdly, follow all applicable codes and standards. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for safe electrical installations. Fourthly, if you are not qualified to perform electrical work, hire a licensed electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to have it done by someone who is trained and experienced. Fifthly, never overload the circuit. Overloading a circuit can cause the circuit breaker to trip, or it can lead to overheating and a fire. To prevent overloading, do not plug too many appliances or devices into a single circuit. Further expanding on the selection of a lighting contactor, firstly, determine the voltage and current requirements of the lighting circuit. The contactor must be rated for the voltage and current of the circuit. Secondly, consider the type of load. Different types of lighting loads, such as incandescent, fluorescent, and light-emitting diode or LED, have different characteristics that can affect the contactor's performance. Thirdly, select a contactor with the appropriate number of poles. A single-pole contactor controls one circuit, while a double-pole contactor controls two circuits. Fourthly, choose a contactor with the appropriate coil voltage. The coil voltage is the voltage required to energize the contactor's coil and close the contacts. Fifthly, select a contactor that is suitable for the environment in which it will be installed. Consider factors such as temperature, humidity, and exposure to dust and moisture. To further explain the role of the load panel, consider these points. Firstly, the load panel distributes power to the individual lighting circuits. It provides a central point for connecting the lighting fixtures to the electrical system. Secondly, each circuit in the load panel is protected by a circuit breaker. The circuit breaker is sized to protect the conductors and the lighting fixtures from overcurrent. Thirdly, the load panel may also contain other devices, such as surge protectors and ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs. These devices provide additional protection against electrical hazards. Fourthly, the load panel should be properly labeled to identify each circuit and the loads it serves. This makes it easier to troubleshoot problems and perform maintenance. Fifthly, the load panel should be installed in a readily accessible location for maintenance and repair. It should also be protected from the elements and physical damage. Considering the importance of regular inspection and maintenance, firstly, visually inspect the contactor, circuit breakers, wiring, and lighting fixtures for any signs of damage or wear. Look for cracked or broken components, loose connections, and frayed wires. Secondly, test the operation of the contactor and circuit breakers. Make sure that the contactor closes and opens properly and that the circuit breakers trip when they are supposed to. Thirdly, clean the contactor, circuit breakers, and wiring to remove any dust, dirt, or debris. This can help to prevent overheating and improve performance. Fourthly, tighten any loose connections. Loose connections can cause overheating and voltage drops. Fifthly, replace any damaged or worn components promptly. Delaying repairs can lead to more serious problems and potential hazards. To summarize the key considerations for wiring a lighting contactor through a circuit breaker panel, firstly, proper sizing of conductors is crucial to handle the expected current. Secondly, overcurrent protection with appropriate circuit breakers is essential for safety. Thirdly, a robust grounding system is necessary to prevent electrical shock. Fourthly, separate control wiring for the contactor ensures reliable operation. Fifthly, compliance with all applicable codes and standards is mandatory for a safe and compliant installation. By adhering to these principles, you can create a safe and efficient lighting control system using a lighting contactor and a circuit breaker panel.